Hey guys, it's Dean. So I've been sitting on Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit footage for quite a while now, and I've just been kind of waiting for a good time to make a video on it. And I figure with the announcement of Superstars recently and Knack the Weasel coming back, this would be as good as time as any. Now, for those of you that don't know, Sonic Triple Trouble was the second Sonic the Hedgehog game released for the Game Gear, and features Sonic and Tails teaming up to stop Dr. Robotnik from collecting the Chaos Emeralds. A fairly standard premise for the time. It's your basic classic 2D side-scrolling platformer, similar to the other games in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Players can control Sonic or Tails, or both in certain levels, as they run, jump, and spin dash through levels filled with enemies, obstacles, and power-ups. Now, one of the most notable aspects of Sonic Triple Trouble was that its graphics and sound, despite being released for the 8-bit Game Gear system, it's actually surprisingly detailed and colorful, featuring a range of environments from beaches to cities to factories. Not to mention the character sprites are well designed and feature their classic looks from previous games in the series. Even the game's soundtrack is worth praising. It has catchy tunes that complement the fast-paced action of the gameplay. The sound effects are also satisfying, from the sound of Sonic spinning through the enemies to the chime of the collecting a ring. It's all the basic stuff you'd expect from a Sonic game of that era, which, to be honest, is a little bit different than the other Game Gear games. The game consisted of 6 main zones, each containing 2 acts and a boss battle. The zones are diverse and offer a good amount of variety in terms of gameplay and level design. For example, in Sunset Park features roller coasters and bouncing springs, while Tidal Plant Zone has underwater sections and fast-moving conveyor belt. As I previously mentioned, one of the unique features of Sonic Triple Trouble is that you can control both Sonic and Tails. So Sonic, while being faster and stronger of the two, does not have the ability to fly for a short period of time, which Tails has, and that allows him to access otherwise inaccessible areas. In certain levels, the players can switch between Sonic and Tails by collecting a special item. This adds an extra layer of strategy to the gameplay and allows for multiple playthroughs with very different approaches. Again, nothing you're not used to if you're a fan of the classic era. The boss battles in Sonic Triple Trouble are challenging and require a lot of skill to defeat. Each boss has a specific pattern and a weakness, and the player must exploit to deal damage. Some bosses also require the player to use both Sonic and Tails strategically to win. Now stop me if you've heard this before. In addition to the main zone, Sonic Triple Trouble also features special stages that can be accessed by collecting enough rings in a level. These special stages are similar to those in other Sonic games. However, the special stages in Sonic Triple Trouble are particularly difficult with narrow paths and tight time limits. That aspect actually makes it very difficult to Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 at least, maybe not Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Knuckles, where I thought the blue sphere was pretty good. Overall, Sonic Triple Trouble is a solid entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog series and a great addition to the Game Gear library. It offers fast-paced gameplay, varied levels, and a catchy music, all wrapped up in a colorful and well-designed package. The ability to play as both Sonic and Tails adds an extra layer of depth to the gameplay and encourages multiple playthroughs, while the difficulty level may be a bit high for some players. Those who enjoy a challenge will find plenty to enjoy in this classic platformer. Now, already, as a Game Gear game, I think this game did a pretty good job living up to the classic series. However, a big reason why I'm doing this video is because there was a fan remake that put everything up to 16-bit, which I think was phenomenal. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that this game might rival Sonic 3 and Knuckles as my favorite game of the classic series. I mean, it literally starts off where that game ended, and the engine that it plays with, it actually feels like I am playing some kind of DLC of Sonic 3K. And you know, far be it from me to be a stickler for story. Obviously, I usually skip that portion in a lot of these videos, but when Noah Copeland went out of his way to make the continuity make sense between Sonic 3K and this game, it shows that he looked at every minor detail and made sure that every aspect of this game would fit for all the fans. This game has a special stage that fits in perfectly with the classic era special stages, and somehow feels like a combination of all 3 of them, but is actually beatable and is actually really fun to play. There are even stage transitions between every zone and every act, which, I mean, for most Sonic fans, that alone makes this a 10 out of 10. The art style, the music, I mean, this package is so good that I legitimately think that it is the best fan game I have ever played. And not to mention, I have never played Sonic Triple Trouble. I mean, I might have touched it when I was on Game Gear back in the day, because I had a bunch of Game Gear games, but I don't remember too much of it. So when I was playing this game, I legitimately felt like I was playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles DLC. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that I don't have that many memories about when the game came out or what the general consensus was from the populace at the time was, because I would really like to make a longer video on this game, but I just don't have too much info to share at that time. And ultimately, I don't think it's really worth doing a stage-by-stage breakdown of this game, because I think you should experience it for yourself. If you are a fan of the classic Sonic games, you need to Google this game and figure out how to download it, because it is really good and really worth playing. If you haven't played the classic games, well, go buy Sonic Origins or find your preferred way to play those games and then play this one immediately after. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this game, and I was surprised at how similar it was to the classic era, and it felt like it was a natural addition to those games. If you haven't played it yet, go play it and come back to the comment section. If you've played it, leave a comment. Let people know how good you think this game is, or whether, you think it's bad. Either way, thanks for watching. Dean out.